Thank you to all my channel members, including my fan appreciation level members and my contributor level members, for helping support the YouTube channel. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my July 2025 book haul. Now, you can probably tell I got a lot of books to talk about. So I think I warned in my previous book haul this would happen, but just in case you missed that, I went to this past month LibertyCon. It was great. I've done a ton of videos about it on the channel. I've had panels, I've had interviews, I've had all that stuff. And as I expected, I got a lot of books there, books purchased, books sent by authors, things like that. And so yeah, I got a lot of books from LibertyCon, but you know, I expected this to happen, so I'm kind of like building that in. I also just purchased some books from used bookstores, as I normally do, and if you didn't have the LibertyCon stuff, this would be a pretty average book haul. I'd have like maybe 15 bucks, but because it's LibertyCon, it's quite a lot of books. I'll need to count them up to tell you how many there are, because there's quite a lot. So let's start out with the books I got at LibertyCon. Gonna talk about some of the ones that were gifted to me or that I got there. So I'm a big fan of the Salvage Title Trilogy, which has prominent display up there, and I really enjoyed that trilogy, and there's a whole series for that universe called The Coalition, and it's big, it's epic, there's a lot of books in there. And so I got two of the books from the author Kevin Steverson. The first book in that series is Hide the Lightning, which I actually really like that cover. I think that's a pretty cool cover. And then we have the book Salvage Mother that he co-wrote with Casey Ezel. And so I'm really excited to read these books because I'm really enjoying the Salvage Title universe, and these are quick reads. These are nice, quick reads. In fact, Kevin Steverson just announced that the next book in that universe is coming out in August. So, but I'm excited to move to these. These will be, at least I can say Hide the Lightning will be read very, very soon by me. So I got those books. I was also sent, I saw her at the convention. I was actually on a panel with her at the convention, but I was sent by Miss Stovall, Shami Stovall, her book Words of Power, which is the first book in her new Lit RPG series. It's progression fantasy epic, I believe is how they say it. It's progression fantasy. This is from Athen Books. I've never read anything by Athen, but I was planning to read stuff from Athen this year anyway because of their new Larry Correia book, Academy of Outcasts, that's coming out. But Ms. Stovall asked me if I was interested in reading the book, and I said yes. So I do plan to get to this year. I'm very excited because I've never read progression fantasy, but I'm willing to give it a go. Speaking of progression fantasy, I was also sent Casey Ezel's book, Shadow Card Guardian, which is her own kind of lit RPG type book that she wrote. And I've read Casey's Mage Light and really enjoyed that. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to enjoy this. This is a self-published book. So hopefully I'll enjoy Shadow Card Guardian. I also interviewed Wally Waltner, who is an author for Raconteur Press, which I not only interviewed him, but I also recorded Raconteur Press's panel. Let me tell you, Raconteur Press had a great panel this year. They had a great panel at LibertyCon this year. And I also did get his book Overture of Shadow from Wally. I'm really excited to read this because it's got a lot of musical connections to the magic system, which I'm really interested in. And Wally was just so nice to talk to, and I'm really impressed with Raconteur Press right now. And so hopefully I will read that this year, and hopefully I will enjoy it. And this is supposed to be the first in a new series, the Muses' War series. So I really like that cover too. All right. I also got a book from Three Ravens Publishing. So at the Three Ravens Publishing panel, which I believe is already out, but if it's not already out, it's coming out soon. At the panel, they had a ton of books on stage, and if you were there in person, you could come and get one. And so I got a Robert Silverberg book. Robert Silverberg, a lot of his books went out of print, and so Three Ravens Publishing agreed to reprint them, and one of them is To Open the Sky. And this has just a tremendous tremendous cover. I mean, that's just I love that cover. I know some not some people's cup of tea, but I really like that cover. The book looks really short. It's only like 240 pages, but it's got some pretty small print, so that should be a fun read to get to one day as well. I was also able to get from Kevin Steverson his book Burnt, which is the first book in the Balance of Care. I think it's just a duology. I don't know if he intended it to be a duology or if it just ended up being that way, but it's a two-book series that he co-wrote with Tyler Ackerman. And so eventually, I've read science fiction from Chris Kennedy Publishing. I've not read that publisher's fantasy stuff, so I'm really interested in getting into that as well. I also got to interview the people over at Canon Publishing to talk about their Fae Wars saga, and the newest release I was able to get from that was the Fae Wars book, Northwest Front, which is by Charlie Cox. This is she also co-wrote it with J.F. Holmes, but it's really Charlie Cox's book, and this is a new release from Canon. It's if you want to find out about the Fae Wars, just look up Fae Wars Canon Publishing. That interview should be on YouTube already, and this was really interesting, and I really do want to get into this series because this also was very, very interesting to talk to them about. I also had an author who I have interacted with on Twitter before, and he just walked up to me and started talking to me at LibertyCon. Sam Robb, he's great. He's great to talk to, and he offered to give me his book, which is, I believe, a short story collection, One October Night. And it is Tales from Sam Robb, illustrated by Cedar Sanderson, so there's illustrations in here. It's also got quite a cool back cover as well. I thought I'd show that off. So this was very nice of Sam to give me. I know that he's working with Racketeer Press now himself. This isn't published by Racketeer Press, but he's working there. So those are the books I got from LibertyCon. I also was sent a trilogy by a fellow Booktuber. The Booktuber, his name is Michael Kronk, but his Booktube name is The Book Guy, and he contacted me a couple months ago saying, I just wrote a trilogy, can I send you that trilogy? And I said, sure, and so he sent me the box set of his series, The Immortal Investigations, which just has, such a cool box, and I'll pull them out of the box to show you. This isn't like collectibles, like you can pull these books out of the box. So you have book one, which is The Immortal Investigations. Then you have book two, which is The Mortal Knight. And you have book three, A King in Waiting. And I love the way that these covers are minimalist, but still look like they actually have a painting behind them. So I'm excited to read this trilogy. I don't know too much about it, but I'm actually really interested in it. And this will be, hopefully, this year that I get to this trilogy. In a really, really cool box set there. Go back in the box. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, those were all the books from LibertyCon their authors sent me. Then there's the books that Bane sends me every month, their catalog. And so I did get the paperback version of John Ringo's Beyond the Ranges that he co-wrote with James A.D. But this is Beyond the Ranges, and it has a really cool cover. And I want to say it was Kurt Miller. Yeah, Kurt Miller did the cover, which is really cool. They also have their new short story collection, Dancing with Destruction, which is edited by Jason Cordova, which I've been reading some of Jason's books. He's a terrific author. And this is a short story collection from a ton of people that are at LibertyCon, a ton of people that are great authors. I've read a lot of people on here. They're really great. So I'm really excited to get to this as well. Bane also sent me S.M. Sterling's The Winds of Fate, which is the second book in his Make the Darkness Light series. I have the first book. I'm really excited because it's alternate historical fiction, and it's about guys going back to the Roman period. I mean, that sounds like so much fun. As a history teacher, I'm just really intrigued by this. And I think one of my friends, Caleb, plans to read this soon, so maybe we'll buddy read it. I also was sent Patrick Chiles's The Long Way Home, which is the second book in his Interstellar Medic series. I don't know if this is a duology or if it's going to be longer, but Patrick Chiles, he's great. I've talked to him. He's great. And I really wanted to get into his books as well. And you'll find out I also purchased some Patrick Chiles books from the bookstore this month. They also reprinted Larry Correia's Monster Hunter Legion, which I have a review of this book. So if you look up Monster Hunter Legion book review, you should find it. Or if you just add my name, Jonathan Cohn, to it, you should be able to find that. But they also published this book this month as a trade paperback. They had previously done it hardcover in mass market. Now they're doing it trade. And then the last book that Bane sent me was the book The Presence Malign by Michael Mersalt, which is one of the books in his new series, which has a really good cover. Who did the cover for this one? Kurt Miller again. Again, Kurt Miller just knocking it out of the park with all his covers. So those were the books that Bane sent me. What about the books that I purchased? Well, I have two sets. I have the Star Wars books and the non-Star Wars books. So we'll start with the other science fiction fantasy books I purchased this month. I did purchase the next book in David Weber's series. This was by Heresies Distressed. This is his Safehold series, cover art by Stephen Yule. This is kind of a sci-fi fantasy series that he wrote for Tor. Most of his books are with Bane, but this series he decided to do with Tor, and I'm really excited to get to this series because I've actually heard some good stuff and heard it's very different than his Honor Harrington stuff. I also purchased John Ringo's A Deeper Blue, and I'm going to cue Jason Cordova telling me, "Oh, John Ringo, no," because this is from his Ghost series, that he did as Paladin of Shadows, I believe is what it's called. And I actually do plan to read Ghost next month in August, and that's going to be a fun read. But I'm just collecting this whole series because John Ringo is an interesting author, and I find him interesting. One of my favorite authors, though, I found another of his books, which is Timothy Zahn with The Domino Pattern, which is part of his series. I forgot what it's called, what the series official name is. Does it even have an official name here? Anyway, I have this book and one other book from the series, so once I've collected all, I think it's a 5-book series, or maybe it's 6 books. When I've collected the whole series, I'll start it. But The Domino Pattern by Timothy Zahn, with cover art by Paul Yule, the other Yule brother. I also purchased the second book in the Homecoming series by Orson Scott Card, The Call of Earth. I purchased the first book a year ago and just couldn't find the rest of the series and wanted to wait till I find them all. And this book is The Call of Earth. This is basically a science fiction retelling of the story of the Book of Mormon. And so I'm really interested in that. That's just really fascinating to me. One of the authors I know and have interviewed on the channel, Tim Akers, I found one of his first book, The Horns of Ruin. And so I'm really excited to read that. It's a nice short book. It's marketed as steampunk, although he didn't think it was quite as steampunk as it was marketed as. But hopefully I'll enjoy that. And then I said I would purchase another Patrick Chiles book. I purchased his novel Frontier, which just look at that cover. I mean, just gorgeous, gorgeous cover. I need to find out who did that cover because it's just great. Bob Eggleton. Bob Eggleton does a great job. So yeah, I really like this cover. And Patrick Chiles, I think this is a standalone novel, so hopefully I'll be able to get to this one soon. So now to the Star Wars books I bought this month. I'm really happy because I went to some bookstores and was able to find some Star Wars books that I did not own yet. So I have about 17 Expanded Universe books left to read. But now that I have, from the adult line, not from the kids line, from the adult line, from the Del Rey line. But thanks to this book haul, I now only have 4 left to purchase. So this put a big dent in that. So what books did I purchase for Star Wars from the adult line? Well, I was able to purchase Tatooine Ghost by Troy Denning. And so now I have all of Denning's books, and I plan to read that this year. I also purchased Scourge by Jeff Grubb, which apparently is tied to one of the video games, which I'm excited to read that. It's a nice quick read, it looks like. Riptide, which is the second book by Paul Kemp in his duology that he wrote, with cover art by Dave Seeley, who I've interviewed on the channel. Also a really short book. Ruins of Dantooine. This is one of the hardest books to find because it's a kind of the Galaxies game. It has horrible cover art, but I'm really interested to read it. It's also really short, and this is back when they were doing Lucas books as instead of just Del Rey. I mean, Del Rey did publish it, but you know what I mean. And so this is by Veronica Whitney Robinson with Hayden Blackman. So that should be a read this year. And then I purchased The Force Unleashed 2 novelization by Sean Williams. I have the first book, read it, enjoyed it, but I didn't have the second book. So now with all these, I have these to read, plus my regular books on my Star Wars shelves to be read, and then I have 4 more to purchase. I have 3 Clone Wars books and 1 other book, Shadow Games. So once I purchase them all, I have all the Star Wars adult novels for the expanding universe, and I've been working so hard to collect all of them. My plan is end of December to finish the Star Wars saga, the EU. It is the adult EU books, and then in January I have some other Star Wars stuff planned that I'm really excited for. I think EU and canon wise, so I think you'll really enjoy that. So there's those books. I did also purchase a collection of the Star Wars novelizations because I just didn't have that. It's an old copy. It's not, in great shape. I don't necessarily love the way it's designed, but you know what? I have a copy. So this is the Star Wars novelizations. I also got some of the Jedi Apprentice and Jedi Quest books. I'm trying to collect all of those before I read those, starting in January. And so I got this Jedi Apprentice book, Day of Reckoning, which I love that cover. I think it's a great cover. I also got the Death of Hope and The Call to Vengeance. Those are all by Jude Watson. And then I also got the 8th book in the Jedi Quest series. So that series I will be reading next year. I'll be starting one of this kids series next year. The last book I got this month was Star Wars Myths and Fables by George Mann. It's kind of a short story collection, otherworldly, not exactly in a canon. It's just a fun Myths and Fables collection, and I like George Mann. I was gonna read this and review it back when it came out in 2019, but life happened and I couldn't get my copy, and so I just haven't had it until now. So I'm really excited to read this. So that's Star Wars Myths and Fables by George Mann. So those are all the books I got this month. It's 35 books, I believe, I counted. So it's a lot of books, I know, but, not everyone's like that. Let's not kid ourselves. Everyone's been like that recently. So if you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the authors that I got their books from? And until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.